Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Caleb 2k, and I'm back with a hold up. Give me 1 second. Anyways, it's your boy Caleb 2k, and I'm back with another video. And today we've got another episode of our Atlanta Hawks franchise dynasty, whatever you want to call it. And we are in episode 8. And last episode we basically went up to All-Star break, and this episode is just going to be me talking about what happened following the All-Star break, just getting all the way to the end of the season. But before I get into all of that, if you are new to the channel, please, for the love of God, hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, then like the video so that I know that you liked it. Nigga, it only makes sense. And as you can see, we're pretty close to the Milwaukee Bucks in the standings. We just took a L to the Boston Celtics. Trae Young struggled and all that. Yeah, whatever. But in the second half of this season, I really started to become a whole lot better with these jump shots. Trae Young's jump shot, John Collins' jump shot, DeAndre Hunter, like all the important guys that I was breaking with earlier on in the season, I've been hitting with them a whole lot more. You see DeAndre Hunter knocking down the contested three-pointer right there. But we had a lot of very important games, and this game against Milwaukee was one of them because we were very close to them in the standings. It was between us, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee. Very, very close for that, 3 to 5th seed, and we want to end up being the 3rd seed because we don't want to face either of those teams in the first round. And if we don't get our act together, then that's most likely what's going to happen. You see DeLon Wright playing some great defense. He gets a slam dunk right there. And one thing that I really want to talk about is our biggest issues is that we turn the ball over and our perimeter defense is not good. You see DeAndre Hunter getting scored on by Chris Middleton as I'm talking about it, but yeah. And another weakness we have is we're not a good team when we play against teams that have bigs that can shoot. So a team like the Philadelphia 76ers or even the Chicago Bulls with Nikola Vucevic, you know what I mean? Even if we were to get in the finals, look at the standings. We're half a game behind Brooklyn and we're a game and a half behind Milwaukee. So if we win this game, it's going to be big for us. You see, I turn the ball over, and turnovers, that can be fixed just by me not being a complete idiot all the time and just not throwing retarded passes. But I can't help myself. But when we play against teams like Joel Embiid, because Clint Capella, he's very dominant in the paint, especially defensively. So I feel like a matchup against the Bucks in the playoffs, we would not see the same struggles that we would see if we had faced off against the Celtics or the Sixers or the Nets or the Bulls. And that's not me saying that the Bucks are a bad team. It's just about the matchup, because the Sixers, Celtics, Nets, and Bulls all play to their big strengths are against our biggest weakness, and the Bucks' big strength, they go right into our biggest strength. One of our biggest strengths is our interior defense, and the Bucks, because they have Giannis, their interior offense, that's really their biggest strength. And because Giannis doesn't have a perimeter game, or at least a consistent one, it's going to be very easy for us to play defense against the Bucks because we can just settle in the paint. And we would just have to lose because Chris Middleton went off, and as we all know, that does not happen very often. So I feel like a matchup against the Bucks in the playoffs wouldn't really hurt us. You see this game very, very low scoring, very defensive, but then you see in the fourth quarter, I just start to get hot. Kevin Huerter knocking down back-to-back threes, then Trae handing over to Clint Capella, and this is something that I need to do a whole lot more. Clint Capella, we're going to be successful in the playoffs if Clint Capella can get more buckets like that, because he's open. He has the mismatch almost all the time. But anyways, it's clutch time, crunch time. Trae Young gets the ball and shoots a Jesus Christ, that was bad. But then Amadou Diallo laying it up, and now it is a 1-point game, and we need this win bad. But anyways, Trae over to Capella. Capella dishes it out to DeAndre Hunter, and that's another thing that Clint Capella can do that I need to do with him more. Be a scorer and a facilitator. He can't just be an offensive rebounder, especially when most of his shots are high percentage. You see Kevin Huerter driving and dishing out to DeAndre Hunter for another 3, and that was huge. And now we're up by 5, and nothing else really happened after this. So we get a very critical dub against the Milwaukee Bucks, which is going to play a huge factor down the line. You see Trae Young, he had 21 points, but he still struggled. 6 of 16 from the field, 4 for 11 from 3. DeAndre Hunter was quiet in the first half, but he came alive late. Kevin Huerter did the exact opposite, but he did hit those 2 3-pointers at the beginning of the fourth. But not much happened with our bench. And as I fast forwarded a little bit deeper into the season, you can see we are now the 2nd seed, but we're tied with Milwaukee and Brooklyn. And then you see Chicago and Miami, they are not that far behind. So at this point, we've got about a week left in the regular season, and we play the Brooklyn Nets and the Miami Heat during this stretch. So it's very important that we win both of these games because of how tight the conference is between the 2nd seed and the 7th seed. Because not the 7th seed, I mean the 6th seed, because the Philadelphia 76ers, they've pretty much locked up that 1st seed. There's really nothing that I can do at this point to get it, even if I were to win every single game. But you see Kevin Durant, he started out pretty dirty. You see Trae Young knocking down that 3, and then you see Kevin Huerter knocking down this 3. And a playoff series against the Brooklyn Nets, that would have to be, we would just have to outscore them. We would just have to outscore them. And I'm just really thinking about, like, there's really not much we could do. We don't, our perimeter defense, that's our biggest weakness defensively, and the Brooklyn Nets have 2 of the greatest perimeter scorers of all time. As good as DeAndre Hunter is defensively, he's not stopping no Kevin Durant, and we don't really have anybody to guard Kyrie. Kevin Huerter's not going to guard Kyrie, but at the same time, I don't feel comfortable pulling him out of the starting lineup because that's going to make our offense worse. If I were to take him out in favor of somebody like DeLon Wright, okay, what if Kyrie's hot and we don't have Kevin shooting? We end up in ditches early in the game, and it becomes a million times harder to pull ourselves out of the hole, especially when you're playing against a good offensive team. But I think the key for us to beat the Brooklyn Nets is that we have to take advantage of Ben Simmons. We have to take advantage of Ben Simmons, and especially the minutes where Kevin Durant and Kyrie are not on the floor. That is when we have to step up. So I feel like in a series against the Brooklyn Nets, we would win that series or lose that series because of our bench. Because we have one of the best bench units in the league, and we're playing against a team that, outside of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they do not have any shot creation. So we really have to be on our P's and Q's, especially when KD and Kyrie sit out. Like this example right here, we were down by 8. Trae Young's gonna drive, lay the ball up, and then you see Ben Simmons. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is how we have to guard him. Perfect defense by Okongwu and Capella, and then we're able to get the ball, and we scored. And now next possession, you see Ben Simmons again guarding him at the free throw line. There's no KD, there's no Kyrie on the floor, so we have to guard him like this. Okongwu gets a beautiful block, and it goes off of Ben Simmons, so it ends up being our ball. And you saw we were down by 8, and now we have taken the lead. And the Nets defense, not good. Nick Claxton is not a dominant center. I feel like Onyeka Okongwu and Clint Capella, John Collins, anybody, that's a mismatch in our favor, especially in the post. And you know, we just have the better second unit, and you see Kendrick Nunn drawing the foul right there. And now we were down by 8, and now we're up by 9. So that's a 17-point swing, and stuff like this is going to be very important heading into the playoffs if we do in fact playing the Brooklyn Nets. You see Onyeka Okongwu getting the beautiful dunk. Seth Curry gives to Kyrie. But like I said, man, we can't stop these niggas. Like, we were just up double digits, and then immediately they come back and cut it to within 3. You see Trae Young getting the layup right here. And yeah, this series, I would be very excited for a playoff series against the Brooklyn Nets, because it would just be a shootout. And you see, we started to get hot, and like this spurt right here, Kevin Huerter knocking down the 3, then getting a good stop, then Trae Young driving and laying the ball in. Like, it's just beautiful, man. And this is when we're at our best, when our defense is stepping up, because Kevin Huerter has the potential to be a 3-and-D player. He's just hasn't developed the defense yet. I wasn't going to say the D, so you niggas clip me and call me sus and all type of shit. Hell nah. But you see Kevin Huerter knocking down the 3. He's already got 20 points. And then this part, we just start hitting, man. When our defense is amazing and we can hit threes, man, there is no team in the league that could beat us. You see John Collins with the help side block, and DeLon Wright's gonna reward him. What a nasty poster by John Collins. Oh my goodness. And like I said, man, in moments like this, we just cannot be stopped. And this is all while Trae Young and Kevin Durant both are on the bench. So you see, we are taking full on advantage of the Nets, who are not a deep team whatsoever. So we are really taking full advantage of this team, especially when their best players are out. You see Trae Young got Kyrie slipping and sliding and knocking down the three-pointer. Now we're up 17. That was basically it. The Nets didn't have a chance. They did cut it to single digits, but like, that was in garbage time, so like it really didn't matter. Trae Young absolutely stepping up, and I got a whole lot better with Trae. And one thing that I've been doing a whole lot more is utilizing Trae off ball, so he gets a whole lot more open looks. And as you can see, he had 30 points, 13 for 16 shooting, 4 for 6, no free throws, only 3 turnovers. So today was a low turnover day, but that's also something I gotta watch out for, because some games I'll have 5 turnovers with Trae. Sometimes I'll have 6. There was one game I even had 9. But anyways, you see me simcasting the rest of the season because no, I do not feel like playing these fucking games. Like, yeah, I like playing 2K, but playing against the computer, that kind of gets boring after a while. And you see with this W against the Toronto Raptors, we have officially clinched a playoff spot. Then we have a game against the Wizards. So 2 pretty easy games. We blow them out. And now we have a very important game against the Miami Heat. But at this point, I was going to play the game against the Miami Heat, but as you can see in the standings, the Heat had fallen off. So now they're 4 games behind us. So no matter what happens, they're not going to catch us. So it didn't really matter. So I just simulated the rest of the season. And as you can see, when I was trying to show you guys the season awards, the joint was fucking up. And because that fucking Nate McMillan all up in my damn screen fucked me up. But anyway, so I had to go to NBA history and show you guys Giannis won MVP, a G Leaguer won Rookie of the Year, and 6th Man of the Year. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is what it is. Giannis DPOY, Tyrese Maxey Most Improved Player. Trae Young did not end up on the first team, but he did end up on the second team. I definitely feel like he should have been on the first team, but like, you're gonna put him over Luka and James Harden? I mean, it's easy to cut out James Harden in real life, but like in the game, he was going stupid, and the Sixers have won 60 games. But anyways, as you can see, our first round opponent is going to be against the Boston Celtics, and this is a very, very important series because the Celtics won 50 games, I'm pretty sure. They either won 50 or were very, very close to 50, around 48, 49 wins. So just because we're the second seed, that does not mean that this is a cakewalk, because if we do not stay on our P's and Q's, we will go home to this team, because Jason Tatum, when he catches fire, there is absolutely nothing that we can do. And the Celtics play to our weakness. They have 2 very young, very great perimeter scorers. And another thing that I forgot to mention, they were able to trade for Derrick Rose. So now they have Derrick Rose, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, with Marcus Smart coming off the bench instead of Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. So now there's 3 guys we have to worry about. And okay, we're going to put DeAndre Hunter on Jason Tatum, but what about Jaylen Brown and what about Derrick Rose? Because Kevin Huerter and Trae Young, they cannot guard either of those guys. So this series is going to have to come down to our offense. I believe our bench is going to be better than theirs, but I feel like the key matchup is going to be John Collins and Grant Williams. I think John Collins, he has to absolutely dominate Grant Williams and Robert Williams, both the Williams. They not brothers, but fuck it. They just gonna have to, he going to have to fuck them up, because like, we need it. We need all the offense we could get. We can't just rely on Trae Young. And one thing about this, even though the Celtics have Marcus Smart, like, bro, Marcus Smart is not clamping up Trae Young, especially when I'm controlling that nigga, because you know how good I am at this fucking game. But anyways, like, we definitely have to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's. And in the next episode, we are going to go over the series against the Boston Celtics. So if this is it, and I'm just going to tell you guys straight up, I'm going to be gone for a week, not because like I want to, I'm taking a break. I'm literally going to be away from my setup. I'm going to be in a whole other country for a week. So please forgive me. I apologize in advance. But just know when I come back, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be coming out with upload after upload after upload after upload, just like that. So please stick with me. I appreciate y'all who have been gaining, oh my goodness, I forgot how to speak, bro. My channel's been gaining so much love these past since I started this series. I said it like 50 times, but I'm gonna keep on saying it. I've gained more love in these couple weeks than I have all last year, and that's all thanks to y'all. So like I said, appreciate y'all. Subscribe if you're new, and I'm out.